name's Shanelle and welcome to my couch. So we're gonna get into Ready to Love season 3, episode 3. So we start off with Raymond, who is trying to put himself out there since, he almost got kicked off at the end of the last episode. So he's talking to Naya, and Naya asks him how many kids he has, and he says 5, and she's like, oh, you know how to share the love, huh? And he's like, yeah, and she's trying to ask him how many baby mamas, but before he can, I don't even think he heard the question. He was just like, yeah, I'm a musician. She was like, oh, hell no. It was just like, walked away. I don't know if it was like a jokingly walk away, but it was enough to say, not you, boo. So then Tommy has, everyone's there in the group, and Tommy tells them that this week the ladies get to pick and that 2 men are going home at the end of the week. So all the flirting starts coming on, people fighting to stay, keep their position, put themselves out there. And Chris makes a date with Naya. So Chris says that Naya is not his usual type, but he feels a connection, so he wants to see where it's going to go. Now, I'm really wondering what his usual type is, and everything in me says fair-skinned woman. But that may not be the case. So Raymond is talking with Simone. They're connecting, I guess, off of the fact that they both almost got kicked out last episode. And she says that the guys felt as if she wasn't, like she was guarded. So, she's working on taking her guard down so that people can really get to know her. She's trying to open up. Her voice sounds a bit like B. Simone, right? It's highly annoying to me. Not that I don't know. I feel like it's because B. Simone is a comedian. It kind of works, that high pitchy noise. Like it's a character. So I don't know if her voice is like that out of character. Talking about, what is her name? Oh, her name is Simone. But yeah, I just find it a little annoying. It feels like it softens as the episode continues. So Raymond invites Simone to a group date. So, it's cute. He's trying to include people, trying to see what his options are. I see that he carries himself like he knows he comes in being older with a package of 5 kids, which is a lot for people, but he still tries to come in with pride, Like, he's not embarrassed, even though I'm trying to make him very embarrassed. But he's honest about where he's at. And the only thing about that is you don't get cool points just because you're honest. It's just what you're supposed to do, boo. So now Chris and Naya, they go on a day. I think they're kayaking. I don't know what them little boats is called, but it was cute. I would have loved it. It was such a vibe. You can feel the electricity between them. It was so cute. So then afterwards, they're sitting on the bench and they're drinking wines. I think it was Sauvignon Blanc out of a champagne glass. And maybe I'm just a little too bougie. But I'm like, that's the wrong glass. It don't matter. It tastes like liquor going down, so it's whatever. Just a little pet peeve of mine. So he says when they clinked glasses, he felt like kissing her. But he didn't want to look too thirsty, and I kind of wished he went off that impulse. But Naya was also saying, like, I guess she was really excited to go on a date with him too. She doesn't want everything to happen too fast. Take your time, see how it goes. He asked her how she felt about kids, and it's something that she's really excited about. Kids are something she's very excited about having. So they're on the same page with that. And for her, the date was perfect. She really enjoyed that experience. So happy for her and him. So now Brian talks in a group of people about the fact that he's been abstinent. I guess it's something that he's been trying on and off. And so far, he's gotten to 40 days without any slip-ups. And he's trying to be really disciplined. So when he meets somebody, it's not all based off of sex. It's like, is this the person for me? Can we really connect? And Alex seemed to be very appreciative, or really putting on that veil, starting to get ready, like, yeah, this could be the one. You know, that shit happens in women. You start being like, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, so then the group date happens with Simone, Raymond, Brian, Alicia, David. I know I'm missing someone. The girl with the big hair, Joy. And Simone tells the group that, you know, she was really hurt that she was at the bottom. And David says, you know, we talked that first night. And she's like, yeah, you were in my top 2. But he said that he felt like, he felt kind of dismissed by her, and that she must have not liked him. And then, that was funny because Alicia said she had felt the same vibe from David. And then, you know, they're like, okay, we have this time to get to know each other and bring all those guards down and what have you. So then Joy also doubles down on what Alicia was saying about David and how he came in with his hat and glasses. I guess that put up a certain persona to her. To me, it was corny. But, you know, being there, I guess it's like he came off maybe feeling himself too much. I can't say. But I guess he didn't like that he might start to feel ganged up on, because then he started pointing in Joy's face like, and I was talking to you. And so she's like, all right, hold up there. Like, don't put your hand in my face. So he has this kind of aggressive personality, this male aggression, maybe I'm sensing a little bit of toxic masculinity in there. So Simone says that she feels that her and David are quite alike, and she says that her dad loves her, but he didn't like her. And it seems like she can never do anything right in this man's eyes. And she found herself dating men that she didn't trust, and that men didn't trust her. And she was constantly finding, you know, she was dating men that was her father, that to go and whatnot, but she always felt like she had to prove herself. And again, a trigger for me. Proving yourself is a huge trigger for me. So now Alicia says she was put off, well, she tells Raymond she was put off a little bit by his age. And then one of the other guys asked, was it the kids too? Y'all so shady. But she says, yeah, she feels like a man with 5 kids maybe can't afford her, and that she's a little bit selfish. And I feel like her saying that she's selfish is a way of demeaning the fact of wanting to be taken care of by a man. And I don't feel like anything is wrong with that. Just say your truth. That's what you want, and live in it. But I understand what she's saying. Man, sorry. So then they ask him how many baby mamas, and he says 4. Four baby mamas. Okay. I just don't, like, why? I just don't understand a woman who would, unless you have that many kids yourselves, or you have several different baby fathers yourself, maybe then you'd be more comfortable. But I just feel like, why would any other woman put themselves in that situation? And I'm sure there's like crossover in ages and stuff. I'm sure. So they ask him if he was actually ready for love. And he says some bullshit line that he's found love. He's not looking for love. He's looking to share love with someone. Man, take your dry ass song lyrics you heard from Genuine and go to fuck home. Ain't nobody here for your bullshit. Go away. So anyway, the pool party's happening. The guys decide that they're doing some kind of push-up challenge, and I think it was Winter gets them to take their shirts off. So then once everyone's got their chests out, she notices Anthony, and because he's all ripped and everything. But I feel like Winter has this, like, her flirting comes off a little bit thirsty to me. I'm not saying she's thirsty, I'm just saying it's the way her flirting comes off. Please, Herb, go about your business, airplane. Thank you. And then Rashid says, like, okay, we took off our shirts, y'all ladies gonna take up them cover-ups. Everybody wants to see what the other is working with in their swimsuits and whatnot. But it's like Rashid can't say shit without Denise being like, Like, she's clearly triggered by him. He reminds her of a past ex or something. So now in the house, Rashid's talking to the ladies, and he's says he has a pool table in his house that he don't even know how to play pool, but he has it because it looks good, and that he, for some reason, tells them he bought pajamas off of from Nordstrom. So they're like, oh, that's real pretentious. But I guess he feels like it's a way to say, oh, I have money. It's the way he proves his worth is what I'm seeing. So what could come off as being pretentious is just, he's wanting to matter in this area. I think it's just an insecurity. I think he's a sweet guy. He just comes off a certain way, and he doesn't mean to. So Denise is talking to Kalfani, and they're talking about their dreams and goals and whatnot. So the connection between them seems to be solidifying. But they need to go on like a date. I haven't seen him do that. So David is playing pool with Alicia, and Alicia's asking him if he's the kind of man who feels like he's head of the household. And so he says he feels as the man of the house, he will be in charge. Like, yeah, of course. But when Alicia says, oh, so does that mean you're paying for everything? He starts to like back down, but with another smart ass comment like, it's like, say for you have 2 kids and I have none. What I look like paying for everything? You look like the man at the house, sir. That's what you look like. So now Rashid then plans a little Jenga group day, and on these Jenga blocks, when you pull it out, it has something to do or something to tell the group and whatnot. So in this, it says to Rashid to kiss somebody, and of course he kisses Adriana, and with Alex, I don't know if he had to dare Alex or if it was Alex's block. He was like, I dare you to kiss me. So then they get their kiss. Everyone's like, lip locking starting to happen. We're moving things forward. Let's see where it goes. I love seeing couples come together. So Raymond checks in with Adriana since they had an initial connection as well. And, he tells her like, a lot of women get scared of the fact that he doesn't want to roadmap out a relationship. He wants to just roll with it, and which catches Adriana off guard because he's that see where things go kind of guy. And she's like says that to him, and he says, he sees a relationship as marriage, and the only difference is a piece of paper and whatever other bullshit lines he's rehearsed. And she's like, well, if that's the case, why don't you just do it? Just get married. Baby, you got to go, sir. Time to leave. This is not the place for you. Go find a roadie, okay? So now the ladies meet with Tommy, and he calls this place Tommy's Tavern. So every other week you'll have the male group, the women group coming in here to talk about what they feel about the weekend, the dates, and the guys, the girls, and all that stuff. Alex, it says she's feeling Brian. Joy says she's feeling Kalfani and Jay. Winter says she likes Jay and Anthony. Denise likes Anthony and Kalfani. And Adriana says Rashid is her man. Okay, that's her bae. And on the side, she has Kalfani. Naya obviously likes Chris. But Kalfani clearly is the fave, and and like all the girls like him, and somebody says, and he clearly likes everybody. So he might be like that guy. I think it was the first season. I can't remember his name, but he was leading all these different women. I'm hoping he doesn't do that same bullshit. So most of the women want Raymond to go because he's older than all of them. He has 5 children. And then Tommy asked Adriana about him too, because she said that she had liked him originally. And she said she still does, but you know, their conversation about not really wanting to rush into marriage and all that was very off-putting for her. So then after that, they talk about David. Basically, he's dismissive, a little bit rude, and they didn't like the pool conversation that he had with Alicia and the way, what's her name? Why don't I forget this girl's name? He put his finger in her face. Homegirl with the hair, the big hair. So he was on the list too. And then Denise brings up Rashid, and she says she thinks that he's a narcissist, because he's a frat guy, he's a light skin, and he talks about luxury this and luxury that, and what's her name? Adriana is like, that's not the definition of narcissism. Like, what? So, and Tommy is even like, there's nothing wrong with being light-skinned or being in a fraternity, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was, the way she explained it just sounded like straight bullshit. Just say you don't like him. Denise, just say you don't like him, Denise. Okay? He reminds you of your ex. You don't like him. So, but then the other ladies kind of chime in and also say they find him a little bit pretentious, and the things that they're saying Adriana hasn't heard. But then Denise says, you know, a man knows who he can try. And that was such shade to Denise. That was such shade to Adriana, and I'm glad she took note of that, because Denise is just coming off like a bit of a bitch. And I want to like her, but her personality makes it hard to do so. So, you know, Adriana's fighting for her man, Rashid, but, you know, she still feels a way that 2 of the guys that she likes were up on the chopping block. So, it's, when they sit the guys down to tell them they're leaving, it feels like it's a date off top. Like, the guys don't even know that that's what's about to happen. So Denise talks to David, and he doesn't seem to take it very well. She brings up the issues that the women have, and everything was an argument back. And then he started changing his tune. Of course I will take care of a woman, but that's not what she said, sir. Sir, you said what I look like taking care of your children. That's what you said. So in that interaction, it just felt very, even though I don't like the way he was trying to argue everything, there's just this delivery that Denise has that just comes off very uppity. And she it was like, see you, king, like, and watch your step. It was just real, bitch, shut up. I'm mad I even just called her a bitch. Anyway, so then we had Adriana talking to Raymond. You know, she explained to him how the women were feeling, and then he said something like, if they're scared of their kids, that ain't got nothing to do with him. The kids ain't got nothing to do with it. And like, it has everything to do with it. What are you talking about? If there's something to do with you, that affects them. So anyway, she told him that he had to go, and he was very cool about it. He had no problem. He took it very well. So good for him. Then Winter has a conversation with Rashid about feeling like the women are seeing his representative, and he seemed to take it very much in stride. He was very happy to still be staying, and you know, now he knows he has to tone down that stuff. I love the way he took it. He seemed really sweet, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that progresses. I hope him and Adriana get it together, and I'm hoping he doesn't prove the ladies right. So we're gonna see what happens next week. Thank you guys for tuning in with me, and I'll see you then. Bye.